Hey guys, so today I have my top polishes of 2019. This is a collab video with Amy from Nail Polish Baby 90 and Amanda from Fashion Footings. I will link their channels down below. I have 10 polishes here altogether. I think most of them are still available. Not all of them, unfortunately, but these were the polishes that stood out to me the most in 2019. I don't have any particular order here, so I'm gonna jump right into it. The first one is, actually, no, I take that back. I'm gonna reorder them because I should probably talk about one brand at a time. Okay, now they're in a particular order. The first ones are from KBShimmer. This one is Trend Sweater. This is from their fall 2019 collection. This is just a really cool polish. It is a shifty kind of multi-chrome. It's very pink purple, like predominantly pink and purple, but it has a blue-green shift to it as well. And then it has a really nice scattered holographic through it. I think what looks different to me about this polish than a regular multi-chrome is it almost has a very metallic property to it as well. If you look really closely at the pink in the bottle, you can see what almost looks like little teeny tiny pink metallic particles. More foil metallic, that's the word I'm looking for. It's more of a foil metallic. It has a very like shiny metallic property to it in addition to the multi-chrome and the holographic. So the first one is Trend Sweater from KBShimmer. And I'll have KBShimmer linked down below so you can check these out. The next one is Stay Toasty, my friends, and this is from the KBShimmer Winter 2019 collection. My skin's really dry. The next polish is also from KBShimmer, and I'm a little greasy, so I'm not going to pick it up right away. But it is called Stay Toasty, my friends, and that is from the Winter 2019 collection. It's very similar, I guess it's not similar to Trend Sweater at all. They're like two completely different polishes, but it's similar kind of in its finish. It has a very shifty, like duochrome look to it. It shifts from a pink to a gold, which you guys know I love the combination of pink and gold. It has the same kind of foil metallic properties that Trend Sweater had, but in completely different shifting colors. But again, it looks like a very like foily, metallic, shifty pink. And then it also has that scattered holographic in it as well. It has a little bit less of the scattered holographic than Trend Sweater does, but there's still enough of it for it to stand out. Really, really liked this one. Okay, moving on to Essie. I have 4 Essies here. Which is a little weird to me. I didn't think that I was like gathering this many favorite Essies throughout the year until I actually looked back at everything. The first one is So Cupid. This is from their Valentine's collection of 2019, so you probably won't be able to find this. You might be able to find it online, but it could be a bit of a hunt. It just, I guess, depends on where you go. Let me see if I can find a couple places that have it right now. Okay, actually you can still find this. I'm seeing a listing on Target, on Amazon, on the Walmart website, the CVS website, Beyond Polish, and which I think I've ordered from them before, but I don't remember, just so you know, and eBay. So you can still find this. This is a clear-based chunky glitter, and I think just the fact that it's a chunky glitter is why I love it so much, because I like seeing things like that from mainstream brands. Even though it's been happening more and more lately, seeing holographics and chunky glitters from mainstream brands, so it's like not as special, but I'm always still going to appreciate something other than just a straight cream from a mainstream brand, especially Essie, because Essie tends to play it safe quite a bit, and their collections can be very boring. So it was nice to see this. There were 3 clear-based chunky matte glitters in that collection. I like this one the most because I think this has the most contrast between the different colors of glitter. There's a red, a darker pink, and a very, very light pink in here. The other 2 were a little bit more along like just the light pink or just the darker pink or red lines. I like this because of the variation in the color. So that is one of them. So the next one that I have is from the Gorge-ous Geodes collection, which came out around midsummer, and that was a whole collection of holographic. There was like an Essie summer trilogy, and they were all supposed to be like, I don't know, desert, outdoor, colored kind of themes. There was a cream collection that I feel like had like desert in the name. You'd think I would remember, it was like 6 months ago, but I'm 90 years old up here. This was my favorite out of that collection. Some of them were a little like muddy looking, not in a good way, where like the base kind of like muddied up the holographic and it didn't look that great to me. But this one had a really nice strong holographic, and it was this really pretty like neutral, not neutral, neutrally pink color, I guess. It's not like a bright hot pink, but it still leaned a lot more pink than the other ones in the collection. So really liked that one. The next polish is Take the Lead, and this was from Essie's official summer collection. They had several collections come out in the summer, but I think this was from like the actual dedicated summer collection. And this is just a fantastic blue shade. These dried like semi-matte, which I didn't love, but with a top coat they're fine. More like, they weren't like matte, but kind of had like a rubberized almost finish, if that makes sense. So I like blues, I like all blues, just every blue from top to bottom, I love them all. But I like especially these kind of really bright blues, baby blues, things that will really stand out on your nails. So if you're like across the room, your nail polish is like very light and bright, and you can see, like, that's why I like white nails too, because you could really tell someone has like their nails painted white from all the way across the room. So this is that kind of shade. So I like that one. My words. So the last Essie polish is from their fall 2019 collection, and this is called Hey There. And I put this in here mainly just because it's yellow. I'm really happy to see Essie doing more yellows. They've done several actually in the last like year and a half. There's another one here for the spring collection. Although they are doing it more and more, I think they finally have realized that like people like yellow, and you've made every other color 15 or 20 times, so maybe make some yellows. So I like that they're doing it. So Essie Hey There is one of my favorites. Moving on, I have one Zoya. This is Cadence. This is from their Winter Hollows collection. This came out very, very, very early 2019, so like beginning of January. There were three, it was a trio. There was a red, a nude, which was a re-promote, and then this one. And they are all that like scattered holographic finish from Zoya. And I don't remember exactly, but I feel like I didn't love this when I first tried it. And this is one of Zoya's scattered holographic finishes. Every time they do a polish in this finish, people get really excited about it. That's usually some form of colored base with a really fine holographic flake in it. And I was just really happy to see a pink. I like their darker colors. The holographic flakes are going to stand out better in their darker colors, but it was nice to see a pink, especially right before Valentine's Day, which was probably the point of this coming out in January. So that is Zoya's Cadence. And so far, all of these, including this next one, should be available somewhere online. The next two are going to be the more difficult ones. So this is Monsterpiece. This is from the first Sesame Street collection from China Glaze that came out last year. They did Sesame Street in the summer, and they did it again for the holiday. Holiday had a lot of glitter in it, but none of them like really stood out to me. This is the one that I really, really liked. And now that I think about it, it is very similar to Cadence. It's a little bit of a darker pink, but it's still that pink jelly packed with the holographic flakes. I like these finishes. Like a larger, chunkier glitter will give you more like holographic sparkle because there's just more surface area on it. But not having to deal with a very rough sandpapery finish and doubling up top coat to smooth it out and everything is a pretty good trade-off. So that is Monsterpiece. The last two good polishes are both polish pickup polishes. Now, I do not order polish pickup very often. I kind of just stay away from it because it is so dangerous. If you're not familiar with polish pickup, it's a collaborative effort. Once a month, a bunch of indie makers will come together and make polishes and other products as well around a theme. Everything gets listed on one website for, I'm not exactly sure how long, maybe a week or so. And then you can order what you want. Those polishes are then exclusive, and once they're gone for the most part. I think once a year each brand can bring back one polish for their own website, so people can get a second chance to get that one. So the first one that I have is Parade from Cadillacquer. This was, I actually can't remember the month. I'll have to look up my invoice. Okay, this was from the August polish pickup. That was actually, I think, the only polish pickup order that I made this year, but this just like really, really stood out to me. This polish kind of like defies a lot of what I know about polishes. It's a very bright, like saturated red crelly base with a blue matte micro glitter in there, a couple different sizes, and I don't understand like how this base is so nicely saturated but those glitters still stand out so well. Like I said, it goes against everything I know, but I love the contrast of colors in this one, and this is actually what brought me to polish pickup in the first place, and then I ended up picking up a few other things as well, but I was really after this one. And I don't think you can get this anymore because polish pickup is pretty limited, but I did want to mention it because it's really, really nice. And this Cadillacquer, I don't know if I have any other polishes from Cadillacquer or if this is the only one, but I have seen a lot of swatches come up on Instagram, and they tend to do a lot of really saturated curly bases with very like high contrasting glitters, and it always seems to work out really well for them. Like the swatches always look really good. So that one is one of my favorites. And the last one of my favorites, and I'm a little bummed looking back at this and seeing that I only have 4 indie brands here. I really kind of like was not in the indie loop very deeply in 2019, and I just feel it feels weird to have been out of it. I didn't even realize how out of it I was until I started looking back at videos and purchases from the year to decide which ones were my favorites, and there were not a lot of indies that were flowing through my hands this year. So the last one is from Painted Polish. This is Ice and Fire. This was also a polish pickup polish. I'm not sure what month. I didn't actually get it during polish pickup, but this is the polish that Painted Polish brought back. Like I said, for the last color, once a year I think they like take a month off from polish pickup, and then the makers that have participated throughout the year can bring one polish back for that month on their own website, and that's when I picked this up. I had actually ordered it for Amy through polish pickup with the month that it was available, and then when it came and I saw it when I was putting it in the box that I was sending her, I was like, yeah, I really regret not picking that up. And then when she brought it back, I picked it up right away. This is a very light blue icy curly base, and then it has these red to orange to gold shifting multi-chrome flakies in it. There's the fire. And I just really, really like the contrast of this. Kind of the same thing that grabbed me with the Cadillacquer polish was just the really stark contrast between the base and the glitter that was in here, or the base and the flakies. And I like this one a lot. So those are my top polishes of 2019. I did also want to mention 3 more polishes, which is funny. When I was going through trying to decide what my top polishes of 2019 were, I actually kept thinking of these 3 polishes because they were so bad. Like I was having a hard time, I was struggling to remember polishes that had stood out to me throughout the year for my favorites, but I had no hard time remembering the 3 that stood out to me as the absolute worst polishes of the year. So one of these might actually be the worst polish I've ever used in my entire life. So the first one is from China Glaze. This was I Count Even from... So the first one is from China Glaze. This is I Count Even from the first Sesame Street collection. This is it looked like a really nice pastel purple. It is a jelly polish, and this is so incredibly sheer. I have seen some people manage to use it decently for nail art, but it is like so sheer. There's so little pigment to this. It's, to me, I'm sure some people like it, but to me it is like the most pointless nail polish. Like this it's basically a clear top coat that fools you into thinking that it's purple. I just absolutely hate it. You can put it over white to get some color out of it, but that is just, that's so unnecessary to me. Like this never should have happened. This should not exist. So that is one of my dishonorable mentions for 2019. The other 2 are both from OPI. They're from the Tokyo collection. I'm not exactly sure which one's which, but one of these was exclusive to Sally's and one of these was exclusive to Ulta. These are... Now looking at these look like they would be sister polishes. One has this pink metallic base with the gold glitter in it, and the other one has a, like, I don't know, a very light, maybe champagne-ish base with the silver glitter in it. The glitters that are in here are really strange. They almost look like a hammered metal effect. They're like bumpy and kind of weird, which is intriguing to me. I like seeing different kinds of glitter. This pink one is Are You Happy to See Me? LOL, and this was okay, but it was still glitter and a frosty base, and especially because these glitters have that hammered effect to them, they stood up a little bit more than a regular glitter would, and it was just like so bumpy and chunky and ugly looking. Then I got to this shade is Blossom, which is the, I guess, the sister polish to the last one. What's weird to me is these are essentially the same polish, but the amount of glitter that they put in this bottle versus the other one is there's just so much glitter in here. And it is so incredibly ugly. Even if there was not so much glitter in here that you could barely even use the polish, it's still hideous. But it was so thick and so hard to apply, and there was so much glitter in there, like so far beyond what you actually need, and then it dried so bumpy and ugly, and it's just, the fact that this made it into a bottle and they actually sold it just blows my mind. It is the worst, it's the worst polish I've ever seen in my life. It would be one thing if it was just really, really ugly, but it was really ugly and it was like impossible to use. So I feel like this needs to get mentioned because it is just shocking to me that it even exists. So those are my top and not so top polishes of 2019. Again, this is a collab video, so I will link Amy and Amanda's channels down below so you guys can check those out. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you later. Bye.